before a prospect even meets you, how can you make sure they already know who you are, that they already know that they jive with you, that they already know that you're someone that they want to spend, multiple days a week with? How can you make sure that they're already, despite never having walked into your gym, how can you make sure they already feel like they know it, that they're comfortable, that they like the environment, that they like the vibe, they like everything about it?
Welcome along to the ABC Financial Intensive Shows. I'm your host, Chantal Broderick. This series is made up of 4 consecutive shows where our expert guest will present on one key topic. During each show, you'll receive practical tips and actions to implement into your fitness business. Our focus topic for these shows is video marketing, and our expert guest is Jason Shao. Jason is the co-founder and chief video officer of Animoto, an award-winning online video maker that makes it easy for any small business to create high-performing marketing video designed to stand out on social media. Prior to Animoto, Jason served as a television producer for the MTV network. Over these 4 shows, you're going to learn how to plan your video marketing by asking 6 simple questions. We're going to chat about the common mistakes to avoid when creating videos, ways to make your video cut through, and how to create great videos on a low budget. I love these shows with Jason because not only does he share great advice, but for every show he gives you specific homework that you can do so that you can get your video marketing up and running right away. I am really excited to welcome our special guest, Jason Shao. Hey, Jason, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Chantal. Thanks for having me on your show.
Now, you are here today to chat about video marketing for fitness professionals. So let's start right at the very beginning. Why should we be using video?
Okay, well, it should be no surprise to everyone that video is literally everywhere, if that's not obvious. And I think what's exciting is it's really actually still just getting started. Video is still growing. And there's all sorts of amazing stats and studies. And I mean, literally, we could spend hours going through them. A couple of my favorites are 4 times as many consumers prefer to watch a video about a product or service than to read about it. And maybe even more compelling, after watching a video, 64% of people say they're more likely to take out their wallet and make a purchase decision. So, but really, the punchline, I think, of all of these stats, all of these quotes, all of these studies is that video has kind of really emerged as the most compelling and effective way to reach your audience. And I think the punchline for us as businesses is that means that it's kind of the onus is on us to make sure we are delivering our message and our content in the way that our audience prefers, and that is video.
It was only in February of 2018, Jason, that, of course, Facebook came out really pushing us to use Facebook Live in particular, but video in general. So that's why we thought it was so perfect to get you on and chat about this topic. So let's sort of dive into a little bit more detail when it comes to video. Do you want to talk us through some, measurements around video? Is there a particular length that we should be looking to record? And perhaps you can step us through how to actually get started.
Okay. Well, let me first start by saying is that part of why I'm just super excited to be talking to you and your audience is fitness professionals have to realize that they have a huge unfair advantage. And when I just think about the multiple dimensions that you have to work with, so let me just kind of go through some of them. So first of all, probably more than most other industries, it's inspirational, it's aspirational. There's just so much to share in terms of everything from, method, philosophy, expertise, training, wisdom. And if you think about it too, it's really a lifestyle, industry. I mean, compared to like other products and services like real estate, law, accounting, insurance. I mean, people don't care about the lifestyle of those businesses. But when you think about the fitness industry, it really encapsulates so much more, than just say, the exercise or the workout. You have so much visually kind of compelling and interesting content to work with You have so many great personalities, between trainers or between clients or the gym that you're at, just very visually captivating. And, probably more than, most types of businesses, you just have not only great personalities, but great looking people. And so all of those are really just kind of unfair advantages that you get to work with than, say, your neighborhood accountant who's trying to stand out on social media. So I think all of that should feel very empowering. For those of you who are not yet getting started, who haven't yet gotten started with video, just know that you already kind of have the wind behind your sails and you have a lot of great things to work with. I think that, let's see, in terms of, the number one question that, most people have right now is, how do I get started? Like, I see all this video online. I just have no idea where to even get started. And so that's really kind of where we want to start the discussion. I think a lot of the questions you had are good ones. Usually where I like to start is asking people actually I have a few questions, and I'm going to skip to the punchline at the end of this session is there's going to be some homework, and this will all make sense in these questions I'm about to ask. But what we're going to want you to do to make this really practical, because I feel like with these type of podcasts, there's nothing worse than people who are just talking the talk. What I really care about is that what I have to share, what we have to share, can really be put to use, and that you find valuable in practice in your business. So we're going to ask you to come up with 20 video topics, 20 topics that you can create videos for about your business. And you may just freak out about that number, 20 videos. I don't even know where to start with one, but I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions that I think will start steering you in the right direction. So I have 6 questions. The first is, number 1, what already works for you? So in any of your businesses, whether you are a trainer or a gym owner, any kind of fitness professional, that in the marketing of your business, there are already lots of different things that work for you, a message or, certain content or certain taglines or whatever it is that currently works for you. I think it's important to think of video as an opportunity to amplify what already works. So when you look at everything else that you're currently doing, what is it? What are the specific things that work for you? One of the reasons why people feel so daunted about getting started with video is they think of it as this whole new type of marketing. It's like, I had to learn, you're telling me I had to learn email and blog and this and that, and now you're telling me I have to learn video? Well, I think the easiest way to think about video is it's not a whole new type of marketing. It's an opportunity to really amplify what already works, within your marketing strategy. So that's, to me, question number 1 is really just kind of start with what works for you. The second question that I feel like often helps kind of guide people to make this very tangible is, what would you tell a new client or a prospect what makes you different, or why they should be a client of yours? And if you think about what you would say to someone, if you bumped into them at the street, or they came to to visit, they came to a trial session with you, or came to visit your gym, what is it that you would tell that person? It relates a little bit to what already works for you, but if you think about those specific things that you are trying to position yourself in your locale or your area, or versus other trainers or other gyms, what are those points of differentiation that really make you stand out, that make you unique, that make you someone that people should choose over other people? You should really kind of capture those messages and think about how you can turn those into video.
Right. So in that case, it might be your unique selling point. It might be that you are a specialist trainer with, for postnatal mums, or perhaps it's that you have a piece of equipment in your facility that nobody else in your local area has.
Exactly. Yep. And all those different messages, there's a number of different variety of kind of these points of differentiation. Really, and if you haven't done this, you should really focus on what are those points of differentiation, and that makes for great kind of fodder for video.
Great. So that's 2. Let's go on to question number 3.
All right. So 3 of 6 here. So another kind of great question is, what can you educate your audience about? So video is not just about, sell, sell, sell. In fact, a lot of it, I think, should be about just making sure you're producing content that is engaging and that's relevant to your audience. And I think, I alluded to this in the beginning of our session, but fitness professionals have a completely unfair advantage because it's not just about the training. I mean, even just the training in it of itself, there's probably all sorts of different types of videos that you could create. But if you think about fitness as a lifestyle and think about the opinions or perspectives you have on everything from clothes to equipment to diet to philosophy to method to just anything and everything that really kind of encapsulates the lifestyle of fitness professionals or the fitness world, all of that is interesting to your audience. So the question, what can you educate your audience about? And really, I mean, even within that, there should be no shortage of ideas for you.
Great one. My mind is going crazy right now with all the possible content that we can create. I love your questions, Jason. Okay, what's question number 4?
All right. So question number 4, think about your clients or your fans. We like referring to them as super fans. What are the types of videos that your super fans, you think that they would really love to share and to endorse? And this could include actually featuring some of your super fans or just topics or content that that they would enjoy or could really embrace. And the why behind that, the rationale is, we often hear that nothing develops that sense of kind of like trust in a brand more than when you hear from other customers or other clients. And so when you have the chance to hear another customer or client talk about your business, it's kind of infectious when you hear their success stories or why they love your business or love you as a trainer or love your gym. And the other thing is, oftentimes, more often than not, these super fans are also the ones that are very active and vocal on social media. So when they can really embrace a piece of content or even something with themselves, they will also go to work and promote that piece of content for you. So really, your community is also an opportunity to amplify, your videos and get them out there. But I think just really thinking about who your super fans are and how they can kind of help be part of your network and the type of content that they would enjoy or even featuring themselves is also kind of a great question/strategy.
You know what I think is interesting about those super fans is quite often, in my experience, I've found that they are the ones that are quite comfortable, being social, being on camera. Because, you've got those members or those clients that you work with that maybe have had amazing progress, but they're a little bit shy and maybe not the best spokesperson. But quite often it is those super fans who, as you say, are already out there talking you up to their friends and to the people around them. They're quite often, excited to be asked to appear as the face of or in a video that helps you promote your business.
Oh yeah, they will be honored if you ask them, so.
They've got that personality. That's a great one.
Yeah. And I think that genuine excitement about, you as a fitness professional, you as a gym or you as a trainer, that really, you can't replicate that. You can't pay someone to do that. That's genuine. People can see that kind of stuff. So I think that's really valuable.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. So next question. So we're on to number 5. What are ways you can let your personality shine? And so if you are a fitness trainer, this might be just you individually. If you're part of a gym or something broader, this can be about the personality or brand of your gym or your business. But the reason why I think this is especially important in this industry is because a lot of prospects are weighing. And I'm just speaking, in part from, I know that, me and some of my friends, there's some anxiety there about when you're, joining a new gym or trying to pick a trainer. A lot of it's like, I don't know if I'm going to like this person or if there's, if they're going to be, too tough on me or not tough enough, or I just don't know what their style is. And so kind of a little exercise I like to talk about sometimes with businesses is, what are the things that you can kind of share that give people the confidence of you or your service or your facility before they even meet you or before they even walk into your gym? And I kind of think that should be your goal is before a new customer, before a prospect even meets you, how can you make sure they already know who you are, that they already know that they jive with you, that they already know that you're someone that they want to spend, multiple days a week with? How can you make sure that they're already, despite never having walked into your gym, how can you make sure they already feel like they know it, that they're comfortable, that they like the environment, that they like the vibe, they like everything about it? And so it's by the time they actually walk, they walk into your gym or they come meet you, it's kind of like, your goal should be their decision has already kind of been made because you've kind of leveraged video to make that whole decision-making process easier on them. And they can kind of really form their perspective without even leaving their seat.
Jason, I think that is a hugely important point that you've just made, because I think we can all agree that quite often as fitness professionals, we love posting photos or videos of us doing, a heavy deadlift or squatting a huge weight or doing an amazing exercise that we're really proud of, and we want to inspire our members and the people that we work with. But quite often, I think, to the general population, those images or those videos can be intimidating. Mm-hmm. Whereas what I'm hearing you say is that we can potentially connect a lot better with our prospects. Mm-hmm. If we're getting on there and posting, the everyday sort of activities that we do, and us being authentic, and, the highs and the lows, not just the highlight reel of what's going on in our life. So what I'm hearing from you, Jason, is that if we get content online, which is us being ourselves, then people are much more likely to feel comfortable when they do come into our facility or when they do meet us as a personal trainer for the first time, because you're not that intimidating, superhero that's posting all these perfect videos and images. You're actually a real person that will be able to help that prospect with their health and fitness needs.
Exactly. Just that authenticity and just, the real you, the real, the gym, the real company, the real trainers, the real facility, just all that. Just the goal is to really reduce that level of anxiety and increase that level of comfort and familiarity. So,
yeah, I love that.
Great. And so the last question that I promised, I said 6 questions. This is number 6, is what are the things that you commonly get asked? And there's probably a dozen things that you regularly get asked, and they probably get asked, for good questions. But if you could capture those, and I would specifically suggest that you separate them all out into, different videos. But if you can take each one of those topics or each one of those questions and create a video around that, those will be valuable too. I mean, especially if you know that these are things that people regularly ask, then you already have some kind of proof that the content is valuable, the question is valuable, the answer is valuable. And so by creating a video around it, you already have some confidence that that your community is going to be interested in it. So it might be it doesn't have to be limited to the actual training exercises, although those might be where a lot of the questions are, but it might be something about diet or about, philosophy or method, or even some kind of, clothing or equipment, or just really anything around the kind of the lifestyle of fitness, I think is fair game.
Jason, I love the relevance of these 6 questions, not only to content creation for video, but content creation across the board. All those questions that you're asking are just as relevant for people that are blogging or podcasting. It's such valuable thought starters that you've just shared with us. And I love that we can take those ideas and start to really craft a really comprehensive video library just based on those 6 questions you've just shared with us. So before we finish up for the part 1 of this intensive series, do you want to remind everyone what that homework was that you mentioned right at the very beginning?
Yes. So I had said that our challenge for you guys who are listening is to write down 20 topics that you can create videos for about your business. And I hope after these 6 questions that you have even more than 20, that these just kind of unleash the flood of different ideas. And so that was really the goal here, is because I think this is the first place that people get stuck is, they might have an idea for a video or two, but how is it that they can regularly kind of communicate with video? But hopefully through these 6 questions, you have no shortage of ideas. And now you're just at that point of, I can't wait to get started. And we're going to cover in our subsequent episodes, best practices and tips and tricks for how to get started. I should also mention too, so the company that I work with, Animoto, so we are a simple video creation tool, very simple drag and drop tool that you can easily create videos. And so if you're trying to find a simple tool to get started, I encourage you to try out Animoto. There is a free trial, so you don't even need to spend anything to start making videos. And then we also created a special discount code for just this listening audience that gives 15% off to anyone that wants to subscribe to Animoto. And the promo code, which we'll put in the comments, is FitnessBiz, B-I-Z. So there should be no excuse to get started. You have a ton of ideas. And if you keep listening to our subsequent episodes, we're going to give you lots more tips and tricks for how to make your videos awesome.
I love that, Jason. And I don't know if I told you this, but I do a presentation which is all about success strategies of ultra high performers. And in that session, I talk about all of my favorite apps and tools and systems. And Animoto is on that list of one of my absolute favorites, because I started using Animoto probably about halfway through 2017, I think it was, to actually promote this podcast. And what I love about it is just how simple it is. I am not technically minded at all, but I love the effect of actually promoting our product and the podcast using video. So that's what I absolutely loved, is that someone like me who has no technical skills whatsoever, but needed kind of like a DIY solution, it was super, super easy. And that's why I recommend it to other people as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for the discount code. We're going to pop that in the show notes for today's episode. And thank you for joining us for part 1 of our Video Marketing for Fitness Professionals intensive. The intensive shows wouldn't be possible without the support of our intensive show partner, ABC Financial. Here's a quick word from one of the team.
Hi, this is Sarah Pellegrino from ABC Financial. If you have a club located in the Northeast, Ontario, Manitoba, or Saskatchewan, I would love to help you with your software and billing solutions. You can contact me via email at sarah.pellegrino at abcfinancial.com. That's sarah.pellegrino at abcfinancial.com.
Again, we would like to say a huge thank you to our intensive partner. ABC Financial leads the health and fitness industry in software and payment processing solutions. If you want your business to thrive with the most advanced club management software, comprehensive payment processing, and customer service that is second to none, then choose ABC Financial. You can request a demo at www.abcfinancial.com. In addition to this podcast, you can also download a transcript of each of the intensive shows. Just go over to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com, click on the tab at the top of the page called Intensive, then scroll down and press the button that says Access the transcription of this interview. It is super easy. A quick reminder of today's homework from Jason. He said to write down 20 topics that you can create videos for that, of course, relate to your own fitness business. Get to it and then tune into our next show with Jason, where we talk about the common mistakes to avoid when creating videos. Thanks for listening to episode 1 of the ABC Financial Intensive shows on video marketing.